Welcome to the HFY Tales channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you like the story. Enjoy and take care.
In the far reaches of a bustling, interstellar trade hub known as Celestium, a vibrant tapestry of cultures and species blended together into a chaotic yet harmonious coexistence. Neon-lit vendors peddled alien wares, while merchants from various planets engaged in animated debates over contract negotiations. The air buzzed with the sounds of different languages and laughter, creating a soundscape of life brimming with opportunity. Lucas, a young human with tousled hair and wide-eyed curiosity, stepped into this vivid world with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. He had left behind his mundane life on Earth, hoping for something extraordinary to change his fate. Freshly graduated, with dreams larger than the life he knew, he wandered the busy market streets, awestruck by the exotic beauty surrounding him. Despite the thrill of adventure, insecurity tugged at him. "What am I even doing here?" he mumbled to himself, scanning the eclectic crowd. He thought back to his best friend's words. "Just be bold, Lucas. Sometimes opportunities only knock once." Little did he know, fate was about to present him with an opportunity beyond his wildest dreams, or perhaps a nightmare. As he ambled through the winding pathways, Lucas caught a glimpse of a holographic sign flickering overhead. "Rare contracts available." His heart raced, recalling tales of life-changing deals struck in the trade hub. Drawn in by the possibilities, Lucas made his way to a vendor known for negotiating peculiar contracts. "Welcome. Interested in something special?" The vendor's voice was smooth, with an undertone of mischief that Lucas couldn't quite place. The booth was lined with scrolls detailing various services, some mundane, others downright bizarre. An iron-winged cyborg flitted about, inscribing contracts with practiced ease. With a mixture of excitement and naivety, Lucas inquired about a position that could elevate his circumstances, perhaps involving technological enhancements to secure a more prosperous future. The vendor flashed a sly grin and presented him with a document, etched in an elegant script that hummed with an unusual energy. "Sign here if you wish your life to change," the vendor urged, not allowing Lucas much time to reconsider. Without a second thought, driven by his dreams and the bustling atmosphere around him, Lucas signed the document. The moment he did, an unexpected jolt surged through him, causing him to blink in confusion. "What have I just signed?" he stammered, a feeling of dread creeping in. "Ah," the vendor said, a strange gleam in his eye. "You've just acquired an alien servant, bound to you in servitude until the contract concludes. She'll be here shortly." Before Lucas could comprehend this shocking revelation, a shimmering portal opened beside him, and a figure stepped through. Aurora, an alien servant with iridescent skin and striking features, emerged gracefully, her presence casting a spell of awe and bewilderment over Lucas. He stared, his mouth agape, still processing the implications of his naive decision. This was not the opportunity he had envisioned. Instead of technology, he found himself confronting a living being, a beauty from a world he could only begin to fathom. "Greetings, Master," Aurora spoke, her voice soft yet commanding, with an ethereal resonance that sent shivers down his spine. "I am here to fulfill the terms of our contract." Lucas felt an inexplicable pull toward her, despite the overwhelming fear of what this miscalculation meant for his life. With eyebrows knitted in confusion and uncertainty swirling in his gut, he realized he was on the precipice of an adventure he had never anticipated. Lucas stood frozen, a whirlwind of emotions crashing inside him. The idea of having an alien servant was far removed from his expectations when he entered the trade hub. He opened his mouth to protest, to clarify what he thought was a misunderstanding, but words failed him. Aurora's luminous eyes gazed at him, filled with a blend of curiosity and reassurance. "Can you repeat that?" Lucas finally managed, his voice trembling slightly. He was acutely aware of the curious glances from bystanders, their gazes flitting between him and the entrancing alien before him. "Under the terms of the contract you just signed, I am now bound to serve you for a period of 1 year. My abilities and knowledge are at your command," Aurora clarified, tilting her head slightly, as if intrigued by the mix of bewilderment and hesitation brewing in Lucas. "Serve me?" he echoed, the weight of the word sending a shiver down his spine. The reality of the situation began to sink in, and panic surged within him. This was not just any bargain. This was a binding agreement that came with profound implications. With a swift gesture, the vendor added, "Don't worry. Aurora is a sophisticated servant, designed to cater to your needs. She possesses remarkable talents that will enrich your existence." Lucas swallowed hard, glancing from Aurora back to the vendor, who wore a smug smile. It was clear the vendor had taken advantage of his impulsiveness. "I didn't mean to. I just wanted an upgrade, yes?" Aurora interjected, her voice soothing. "You thought you were signing for enhancements, correct?" I sense confusion and fear. "Please, let us begin anew. I can assure you I'm much more than merely a servant." As her words settled over him, curiosity began to pierce through the initial swell of dread. The aura of expectancy enveloping her ignited a spark within him, mingling with his misgivings. "What do you mean by that?" Lucas asked, the nervousness in his tone giving way to intrigue. Aurora stepped closer, an enigmatic smile spreading across her face. "I am skilled in many areas. I can assist with tasks, provide companionship, and offer insights from across the galaxy. But I wish for this to be a mutually enriching experience." Lucas considered this, his mind racing. If he could learn from her, could this unexpected turn lead him to understand the universe beyond Earth? The thought of adventure enticed him, even amidst the unconventional circumstances. "Okay," he managed, uncertainty still flickering in his gaze. "Can we start over? I'm Lucas." "A pleasure to meet you, Lucas," Aurora replied, her expression shifting to one of warmth. "Together, we will navigate this contract and discover what possibilities await us." Before Lucas could fully process the scope of his new reality, a loud commotion erupted nearby. A group of hostile-looking figures, wearing sleek black uniforms, pushed through the crowd, their gazes fixed intently on him. The vendor straightened, suddenly wary, and the air crackled with tension. "What's going on?" Lucas whispered, his heart racing. "They seek to undermine our agreement," Aurora stated, her voice steady but low, a note of urgency creeping in. "They do not condone human-alien bonds." The leading figure, a tall man with a rugged demeanor, stepped forward, pointing directly at Lucas. "Step away from the alien, human. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. She's not meant for you." Lucas's pulse quickened as he realized the gravity of the situation. The vendor had mentioned societal taboos surrounding such contracts, and now he was facing the embodiment of that prejudice. "Stay back," Lucas called out, taking a step toward Aurora, instinctively shielding her. "She's not just some possession." "Fool," the man spat, raising his hand to command the goons behind him. "You don't know the danger you're inviting into your life." In that moment, Aurora placed a calming hand on Lucas's shoulder, her presence anchoring him. "Let me handle this," she said. The conviction in her voice was unwavering, and Lucas felt an odd sense of trust in her abilities. With grace, Aurora stepped forward, her clarity and poise stark against the aggressor's hostility. "I am no one's possession. I have chosen to forge a new path, one that intertwines with Lucas's. You will not threaten our bond." The tension in the air thickened as the hostile figures exchanged glances, momentarily thrown off by her confidence. Lucas could hardly believe what he was witnessing. The fearless aura emanating from Aurora transformed his fear into a growing sense of admiration. "Let's go," one of the goons snarled, his anger simmering. But as they turned to retreat, Lucas felt a rush of adrenaline. "Wait!" he shouted, making a decision in that instant. "You have no right to dictate my life or who I choose to bond with." His words hung in the air, bold yet shaky, as he stood beside Aurora. Maybe in this unexpected chaos, he was beginning to find his own strength. "Together," Aurora whispered, giving him an encouraging nod. With that, Lucas realized he was no longer merely a hapless pawn in a reckless game. He was an active participant, ready to embrace whatever came next. linked to a being far beyond his understanding, and oddly enough, he wouldn't have it any other way. As the dust settled from the confrontation, Lucas and Aurora exchanged lingering looks that spoke volumes. Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that something monumental had shifted between them, an invisible thread starting to weave their lives together in ways he had never anticipated. "Where do we go from here?" Lucas asked, still processing the adrenaline that coursed through his veins. "We find a place where we can talk freely," Aurora replied, her expression softening. "Somewhere away from prying eyes." She glanced around, ensuring that the hostile figures had indeed retreated. Guided by her instinct, they moved through the bustling crowd, entering a quieter area filled with twinkling lights and the aroma of exotic foods. Finally, they found a small cafe where they could sit and gather their thoughts. Lucas chose a corner table, his heart still racing, filled with questions about what had just transpired. "So," he began, leaning forward, "tell me more about you. I can't believe I have an alien servant." "A servant is a simplistic description," Aurora said, her voice calm as she sipped a shimmering drink from the cafe. "I am an emissary of my species, trained to observe and learn. I have much to share, if you're willing to listen." Lucas was captivated. "What is your species like?" Aurora's eyes sparkled as she spoke of her home planet, Lysara, a realm of vibrant colors and bioluminescent flora. "We humans think of the universe in terms of binaries, light and dark, good and evil. But in my world, we understand existence as a spectrum of experiences and emotions. We are deeply connected to the life force of our planet." Lucas felt a pang of envy. While he had been confined to the limitations of Earth, Aurora's life was filled with richness and diversity. "That sounds incredible," he replied, leaning in closer. "What about you? What makes you you?" Aurora paused, considering his question. "I have spent my life in service to others, yet I yearn for genuine connection. My people face strict regulations about interacting with other species, but I have always felt a pull toward the unknown, the desire to love and be loved, to experience life without boundaries." Lucas shifted uncomfortably. "You have feelings? You can choose." The implications of her words hung heavily in the air. He had assumed that an alien chosen in servitude would lack autonomy, but Aurora was proving otherwise. "Yes," Aurora affirmed, her gaze locking onto his. "I can choose, and I choose to be here with you. Even in this unexpected circumstance, I sense potential, an opportunity for both of us to grow." Lucas felt a warmth spread through his chest at her words. It was as if she was seeing him in ways he had never experienced before. But will others feel the same? What about those who reacted earlier? He couldn't shake the lingering fear of the conflict that had just unfolded. Aurora smiled gently. "Not everyone will accept this union, but that does not diminish its validity. Our bond challenges the norms. It has the power to inspire. We can learn from one another, and in doing so, help bridge the divide between our worlds." As the conversation deepened, Lucas found himself more and more at ease with her presence. They shared stories of their respective lives, joys, and aspirations, and despite their differences, it became increasingly clear how much they had in common. Dreams of adventure, a yearning for understanding, and the simple desire to connect. "Why did you want to leave your planet?" Lucas asked, curious about her choices. Aurora's voice turned serious, filled with unspoken histories. "I had witnessed the constraints of my culture and the fear of the unfamiliar. I wanted more than mere existence. I wanted to explore the vastness of the universe and discover what lay beyond the stars. This drive led me here." Inspired, Lucas shared his frustrations about life on Earth, recounting mundane struggles and stifling expectations. "I just wanted something more," he confessed softly, vulnerability creeping into his tone. "I didn't know that seeking adventure could lead me here to you. Maybe this was what I needed all along." In turn, Aurora reached out, resting her hand over his. The warmth of her touch sent a shockwave through him, each sensation igniting a connection he had never felt before. Something deeper unfurled between them, a bond spinning into something both exhilarating and terrifying. Together, We can explore our limits and defy expectations, Aurora said, sincerity shining in her eyes. Lucas felt a renewed sense of hope, an exhilarating promise of adventure that awaited them. Just then, as laughter wafted around them, the cafe door swung open, and a group of merchants strolled in, their loud banter breaking the moment. Unbeknownst to them, Lucas recognized a figure among them, one of the men from earlier, who had aimed to disrupt their newfound connection. "Let's keep this private," Lucas urged, glancing nervously at the approaching group. "We should find somewhere else to talk." Aurora gave a subtle nod, a glimmer of mischief dancing in her eyes as she smiled. "Then let us venture forth into the unknown together." As they left the cafe, Lucas felt an exhilarating sense of possibility. They were embarking on a journey not just across galaxies, but within themselves, an adventure of mutual discovery that would push the boundaries of love and understanding. As Lucas and Aurora stepped out of the cafe, the vibrant market surrounding them pulsed with life. Yet the earlier incident replayed in Lucas's mind, the threat from the hostile figures lurking in the back of his thoughts. He was determined not to let fear cloud his burgeoning connection with Aurora, this astonishing alien with a spirit that challenged his very understanding of existence. "Where to now?" Lucas asked, glancing at Aurora, who was eyeing the bustling surroundings with a mix of excitement and caution. "Let us explore the less trodden paths of the market," she suggested, a glint of enthusiasm in her gaze. "There are wonders here that may pique your interest and mine." They maneuvered through the maze of stalls, Aurora guiding him with a grace that turned heads. Colorful fabric, exotic spices, and strange devices were on display, each promising its own story, its own magic. Lucas found himself lost in the vibrancy, but also acutely aware of their differences. Walking beside Aurora felt like stepping into a world that straddled the line between fantasy and reality. As they stopped to examine a stall of shimmering crystals, an unsettling energy washed over Lucas. He turned just in time to see the familiar faces of the antagonistic group from earlier weaving their way through the crowd, locked in a fierce conversation. Lucas could feel their scrutiny, like heat rays piercing through his skin. "Oh," he muttered, his heart racing. "They're back." Aurora's expression hardened slightly. "Stay close," she instructed, her intent gaze locked on the approaching figures. "We need to be cautious." Words tumbled from Lucas's mouth as adrenaline surged. "Should we hide? Do you think they want to cause trouble again?" Aurora shook her head, her demeanor shifting from apprehensive to resolute. "No, we cannot allow them to intimidate us. We stand together, and we will not cower." Just as they were about to move on, one of the men from the group, the same one who had confronted them earlier, spotted them. A broad smirk spread across his face. Well, look who it is, our little human and his alien pet," he taunted, the venom in his voice unmistakable. Lucas felt anger bubble within him. "She's not a pet," he shot back, stepping protectively in front of Aurora. "She is not your property. She's her own person." The man laughed, turning to his companions. "Just look at him. How naive can a human be? He thinks he can simply take what isn't his. You just signed your life away, kid. You don't know what you're getting yourself into." "Enough," Aurora interrupted, her voice ringing out with an authority that silenced the crowd around them momentarily. "You know nothing of our bond or of the choices we make. Your prejudice is your weakness." The man faltered, momentarily taken aback. "Prejudice? You're the one who has chosen a human to serve." "I chose to be here with him," she declared, her voice unwavering. "And I am here on my own accord, not through servitude." Murmurs erupted around them as onlookers began to recognize the conflict. Lucas's heart raced, trying to gauge the crowd's sentiment. This was not just about him and Aurora anymore. It was becoming a spectacle. "You can't just call for acceptance without facing the reality of your choice," the man continued, emboldened. "Do you think your people would approve of this? You're a disgrace to your culture." "Enough," Lucas shouted, drawing attention. "What we share is our choice. Love transcends prejudice, and I will not allow you to dictate who I choose to bond with." The group began to close in, shadows weaving through the thrumming market. Aurora squeezed Lucas' hand, her touch grounding him as tension sparked in the air. "It's time we show them who we are," she said, determination gleaming in her eyes. "There is strength in unity, and we will not be silenced." At that moment, the world around them shifted. Lucas felt a flame of courage ignite within him. This wasn't just a fight against anger and hostility. It was a celebration of who they were together. "You want us to fear you? You think you can break this bond?" Lucas proclaimed, eyes blazing with defiance. "You're wrong. We are stronger than you think." The words flowed from him as he matched Aurora's fierceness with his own. The hostile group hesitated at his boldness, confusion rippling through their ranks. "Let's show them together," Aurora whispered, a fierce smile gracing her lips. With a surge of energy, Lucas and Aurora stood shoulder to shoulder, a united front against the ignorance surrounding them. And then something extraordinary happened. The onlookers, once amused by the confrontation, began to shift, murmurs of support rising in the air. This tangible support encouraged Lucas to press on. What truly makes us human or alien is love, acceptance, and understanding. It's not defined by appearances or background, but by the connections we forge. The hostile figures recoiled slightly, their confidence wavering in the faced unity that Lucas and Aurora embodied. The balance was tipping, the audience swaying toward their side, one step at a time. "Walk away," Lucas continued, his voice resolute. "You won't win this fight. Not today." With one final glare, the hostile group began to retreat, their power undermined. Triumph swelled within Lucas's chest as he realized they had not only survived a confrontation, but stood tall in the face of bigotry together. Breathing heavily, Aurora released a relieved laugh, the joy sparkling in her eyes. "You did it, Lucas. You faced them head on." A grin spread across Lucas's face, the intensity of the moment igniting warmth within him. "We did it. Together." As the last of their antagonists slipped away, Lucas felt a sense of possibility unlocking inside him. He had stepped into his strength, and with Aurora beside him, they were a force, a love that bridged the divide between human and alien. "I'm not letting go of this connection," he declared, his voice steady and certain. "This bond will only grow stronger from here." Aurora nodded, her expression glowing. "Then let us embrace the journey ahead, Lucas, for we are only just beginning." After the confrontation in the market, an exhilarating energy coursed between Lucas and Aurora. The thrill of their shared victory throbbed in their veins, intertwining them in ways they couldn't have imagined just days before. As they walked together through the trade hub, the atmosphere felt lighter, infused with the promise of something new. "I can't believe we actually faced them down," Lucas marveled, a laugh escaping him as they navigated through the throngs of stalls. Still holding Aurora's hand, he felt an undeniable connection flowing between them. "It was your courage that illuminated the path," Aurora responded, the edges of her lips curling upward. "Fear dissipates when we choose love over fear. I'm proud of you, Lucas." He basked in her praise, a warmth blooming inside him as they continued to venture deeper into the chaos of Celestium. But a lingering thought danced at the back of his mind. In witnessing their bond expand in the face of adversity, Lucas couldn't shake the feeling that their connection had shifted to a deeper level, surpassing mere companionship. As they settled in a secluded corner of the market near a fountain, the world seemed to fade away, leaving just the two of them amidst the colorful reflections of light. "Can we talk about what's been happening between us?" Lucas asked tentatively, unsure how to voice the thoughts swirling in his mind. "Of course," Aurora replied softly, her luminous eyes searching his face. "What weighs on your heart?" "I feel this connection that goes beyond friendship," Lucas admitted, dipping his gaze. It was a vulnerable moment, exposing his innermost thoughts. "The way you stand by me, how we faced those people together, it felt powerful, like we're meant to be more than just partners in this contract." Aurora's gaze sharpened with understanding. "I feel it too, Lucas. The bond we share is deeper than mere servitude. It's a union of souls. Mating is a sacred act in my culture, a joining of beings that transcends the physical realm and celebrates the unity of two hearts. Lucas's breath caught at the mention of mating. The implication sent ripples of warmth through him, intertwining excitement with a nervous flutter in his stomach. "You mean, do you want to?" he stammered, struggling to find the right words. "I don't want to rush into anything, but the thought excites you." Aurora smiled, her words a gentle invitation. Mating is more than a physical union. It is a blending of essences, a commitment to explore the depths of one another. "I want to experience you as you wish to experience me." The world faded around them as Lucas absorbed her words. The idea of mating with Aurora transcended mere physical attraction. It pulsated with profound significance, a deep connection rooted in mutual respect and shared adventure. "Yes, I want that," he said, his voice low, his heart racing. "I want to know you in every way possible." "Then let us not shy away from this possibility," Aurora replied, her voice a sweet melody that enveloped him. "Let our bond deepen through this exploration." In that moment, the air felt charged, an electric current intertwining their emotions and desires within the space between them. Without thought, Lucas reached out to cradle Aurora's face, his thumb brushing against her soft skin. The intimacy of the gesture hung heavy in the air, unraveling behind a veil of shyness. Aurora leaned into his touch, her eyes fluttering closed, and a soft sigh escaped her lips. "Each shared heartbeat brings us closer," she murmured. "I can feel your essence resonating with mine." With an unspoken understanding, that essence ignited as they drew closer, allowing their hearts to become entwined. Their lips met, delicate at first before morphing into an urgent dance, a catalyst igniting the connection they had discovered amidst the chaos. Every brush of their lips sent sensations sweeping through Lucas, awakening something primal within him. Aurora's warmth enveloped him, each kiss deepening their bond, transcending the boundaries of existence and forging a new reality. As they lost themselves in the moment, Lucas felt the instinctual pull toward Aurora's being. It was in this kiss that he discovered not only desire, but a longing to connect on a level he had never fathomed before. Their hearts thudded in synchrony, resonating with the rhythm of their souls. "Aurora," Lucas whispered between kisses, barely able to contain the upsurge of emotion pulsing through him. "Yes, Lucas," she breathed, her breath warm against his skin, amplifying the fluttering sensation within. "I want to be with you, truly be with you," he declared, locking his gaze on hers. "I don't want this to just be an experience. I want it to be our experience in every way." The depth of his sincerity was palpable, echoing in the silence around them. Aurora beamed at him, her expression radiating affection. "Then let us embrace what lies before us." In that sacred corner of the universe, they began their journey into mating, the completion of their bond both physical and emotional. It was an exploration of what it meant to be vulnerable, to trust, and to intertwine their lives in the most intimate of ways. A significant step beyond a mere contract, enveloping them in an adventure that transcended the stars. The moments that followed were a dance of exploration, intimacy, and raw emotion. Lucas and Aurora surrendered to the warmth of each other, their souls intertwining as they embarked on a journey that transcended the boundaries of their worlds. As the sun began to set over the celestial market, casting hues of orange and pink across the sky, they explored every facet of their connection. Each shared whisper, every soft caress, became a testament to their newfound love, a bond that defied societal norms and expectations. Wrapped in each other's embrace, Lucas marveled at how something so unexpected had transformed his life so profoundly. Aurora radiated warmth, her essence blending effortlessly with his own. The fear and uncertainty that had once clouded his thoughts were now eclipsed by an elation he had never imagined. "Can you feel it?" Aurora breathed softly, her forehead resting against Lucas's, her gaze cutting deep into his. "The connection we're forging is stronger than anything I've ever known." Lucas nodded, his heart swelling with belonging. "I've never felt anything like this before. It's as if we're woven from the same fabric, our threads merging into something beautiful. With a tender smile, Aurora shifted slightly, her expression turning serious. There may be challenges ahead, Lucas. The world around us is not accepting of our bond. I fear there will be obstacles to overcome. Lucas took her hands in his, feeling the intertwining of their destinies coursing through their fingers. We faced those who tried to tear us apart, and we stood strong. Together, we can carve our own path. Aurora's heart swelled with pride at his words. In that instant, she recognized the depth of their connection, an undeniable force that wrapped protectively around them, shielding them from the negativity that loomed beyond. Should we tell others what we've discovered? Aurora asked, her brow furrowing slightly. This bond has power, and perhaps sharing our experiences could inspire others to see beyond their prejudices. Lucas considered her words, the thought resonating deeply within him. Yes, we should. We can help bridge the divide and show others that love knows no boundaries. The thought of empowering others to embrace their own uniqueness filled him with resolve. Then let's embark on this journey together, Aurora said, her voice imbued with determination. We will challenge the stigma surrounding us. With renewed purpose, they stood hand in hand and stepped back into the vibrant streets of Celestium. The conversations that filled the marketplace grew louder, a cacophony of voices, every shout and laugh resonating with life. It was a stark contrast to the quiet sanctuary they had found in each other, but now it felt invigorating, an opportunity to share their truth. As they wandered, their hearts were lightened by the spirit of adventure. They noticed the myriad faces around them, the smiles, the chatter, the shared moments, each reflecting the connection they longed for. It was in this atmosphere of camaraderie that Lucas felt emboldened. Suddenly, they stumbled upon a gathering where various species exchanged stories, experiences, and dreams. Lucas felt a spark ignite within him. This is perfect. We can share our journey here. Aurora smiled, her excitement contagious as she nodded. They joined the assembly, feeling a sense of belonging amidst the diverse crowd. As stories unfolded, Lucas and Aurora took turns recounting their journey, how they met, the challenges faced, and the love they had forged against the odds. As their story poured forth, listeners leaned closer, captivated by the intensity of their bond. In their words, Lucas noticed seeds of understanding sprouting among them, a shift in perspective that offered hope for acceptance and unity. When they finished, a moment of silence enveloped the group before a ripple of applause erupted, resonating through the air. Smiles stretched wide across faces, their voices mingled in cheers of support. Your courage inspires us, a voice called out from the crowd, echoing sentiments of solidarity. You remind us of the beauty in our differences. Overwhelmed, Lucas felt a surge of gratitude. They had not only shared their story, but sparked a flame of change, a willingness to embrace diversity and celebrate love in all forms. Aurora squeezed his hand, her eyes shining. This is just the beginning, Lucas. We can start a movement together. With that promise echoing in their hearts, Lucas and Aurora stepped beyond the confines of their adventure, ready to forge new paths that would not only reshape their destinies, but would ripple through galaxies, redefining the meaning of love, connection, and acceptance. As they stood shoulder to shoulder amidst the cheers, the deepening bond between them pulsed with anticipation, an unwavering commitment to exploring their universe together, hand in hand, heart to heart, prepared to challenge the world with their truth. In the weeks that followed their bold declaration, Lucas and Aurora became symbols of change within Celestium. They organized gatherings, encouraging open discussions about love, acceptance, and unity between species. The market that once brimmed with hostility now buzzed with curious, open-minded individuals willing to listen and learn. Day by day, support for their cause grew, and both Lucas and Aurora discovered newfound strength in their partnership. They shared not only their story, but also celebrated the unique cultures that shaped their identities, bridging the divide between humanity and alien life. One evening, as they stood on a balcony overlooking the vibrant market, the colors of dusk painted the sky in hues of violet and amber. Lucas turned to Aurora, his heart swelling with pride. "Can you believe how far we've come together? We've changed lives." Aurora smiled, her eyes reflecting the stars above. "We sparked a movement, but more importantly, we've forged something beautiful between us. I cherish every moment, Lucas." He reached for her, pulling her close. "I never thought I'd say this, but I can't imagine my life without you. You've opened my world in ways I never thought possible." Aurora leaned in, their foreheads resting together. "And you've shown me the beauty of human connection, the richness of emotion that transcends mere existence. We are partners, and this journey continues." Taking a deep breath, Lucas proposed, "Let's explore the universe together, not just as advocates for change, but as partners in every sense, traveling to new worlds, experiencing life as it unfolds, and diving into ultimate connection." A glimmer of excitement sparkled in Aurora's eyes. "Yes, let's seek out the mysteries of the cosmos while discovering one another in ways we've only begun to taste." With resolve solidified in their hearts, they embraced, sealing their pact under the sprawling cosmos. Their union became more than a mere intersection of lives. It transformed into a journey of unparalleled adventure and exploration, a marriage of their spirits, cultures, and dreams. As they prepared to set off on their first interstellar journey together, hand in hand, Lucas realized that life had delivered him precisely what he didn't know he needed. Aurora was his partner, his love, and together, they would navigate the vastness of the universe, defying the odds and forging their own destiny. Love would be their compass, proving that connections are what shape the fabric of existence, transcending boundaries and definitions, and their adventure was just beginning.